gentleman that, let me tell you what, loved watching this guy pitch. And I was telling Keith Moreland, our guest a little bit earlier, that the three of us, this is kind of a reunion here. We got Fergie, Keith, and myself did a appearance at a men's clothing store back in 1982. Fergie, do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
How about that? I remember it very vividly. I was just kind of a blue-collar, player for the Bears. I think I was entering my 7th season or whatever, and here I got to be with a Hall of Fame pitcher, man. That was a big thrill for me.
Fergie has a great memory.
Yeah.
How you doing, Fergie?
I'm doing good.
Fantastic. Hey, we've got, obviously, your author of the book here, Lou, and he's been telling us quite a bit about you. And
well, that's good.
I told him to read the book.
Yeah, I do. I have a copy of your book right here in front of me, signed by you, and I love it. It says, "To Robin, Peace, Fergie Jenkins." Yep. Man, that'll go right into my bookshelf. I've got several collector items that I keep, and I want to thank you for that. And I'll start digging into that. And you know what? You were out at Cubs Park a couple of weeks ago and did the Take Me Out to the Ball Game. You did pretty good sing. He sang pretty well, Lou.
He's got practice.
Yeah.
Fergie tells me he likes to sing. He doesn't shrink from that public role.
No, that's a fun thing. As a kid growing up, I was a Baptist, so I had to sing in the choir every Sunday. So got a chance to exhibit my voice a little bit. I think as a kid growing up, I was probably a soprano. Now I'm kind of a bass now.
Gotcha.
Tony Soprano?
Yeah, Tony Soprano, yeah, right.
So growing up in Canada, how did they keep the hockey skates away from you?
Well, I started skating at 4 years old. I played a lot of hockey as a youngster into my teenage years, and I just think that when baseball entered the picture, kind of put hockey on the back burner because I thought that maybe the game of baseball, and especially pitching, came a little easier for me.
I mean, you did it all, Fergie. You played hockey, you played baseball, you played basketball, for the Globetrotters?
Played 2 years with the Globetrotters. That was my off-season job, trying to make a little money in the off-season because most guys wanted to go to work. And I played winter ball a couple of seasons, and I said, well, I think basketball is a lot easier. So I ended up playing with the Globetrotters.
You know what? I'm a runner, and I run every morning, and I remember that very vividly. I think it was about a week or so ago. You're on one of the stations, and you actually played for the Globetrotters. I thought that was fascinating. Yeah,
I played 2 years. So Meadowlark, Curly, Jackie Jackson, Showboat Hall, Geese Osby. I mean, they were really popular in the '60s. That my skit was giving up a home run each night to Meadowlark Glim. And then they found out that I had some basketball skills, and I ended up playing the third quarter almost of every game.
I was teasing Fergie last night that he got frequent bus travel miles from that instead of frequent flyer miles now. Because the Globetrotters play every night.
Bus travel, yeah, right. A new city every night.
Fantastic. This is the Barely Legal Show. We're talking to Hall of Famer pitcher Fergie Jenkins. Now, where are you signing autographs tonight at, Fergie?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
This is my hometown. I'm in Chatham, Ontario.
Okay.
And I'll be signing autographs. This place called the Retro Suites. It's a brand new hotel built in my hometown, and my hometown's about 34,000 people. I'll probably end up seeing about 3,000 people come out tonight, guys I went to school with. And
well, you'll be back in Chicago tomorrow, right? For the at the Sam's Club in Evanston, right?
Yeah,
back in Chicago.
No, that's
Saturday.
That's Saturday here at Sam's Club,
or
I'm sorry,
a Sam's Club in Evanston.
Oh, Sam's Club in Evanston.
This is proving that Fergie still has the frequent flyer miles going.
He's all over the place. Yesterday he's in Chicago, then he's in Canada, he's back to Chicago. It's incredible. Yeah. Fergie, I was telling this story back in '82 when we first got Cub tickets. We had tickets right where the pitchers warmed up for the Cubs, and you were the only guy who would throw the ball to the fans after you warmed up after every warm-up. You were the nicest guy, and kids love going to the games because you were fan-friendly. The players today do not grasp this.
Yeah, it's just something about what they do. I think because if you understand that the fans come to see you perform, hey, you can smile at them, give them a ball, let them know that you acknowledge them because that's why they're there. I mean, with the prices now of game tickets, crazy. it's outrageous.
Absurd.
But fans come; they love to see the games.
I was at your book signing last month at Von Maur. I got a book signed for Robin and me. I'm holding the book, waiting to talk to you after you got done. They closed the line for people to get your autograph. There had to be 75 people in line the whole time. They never saw a book signing like this before, your promoter. And a woman comes up and wants to get the book signed. And they said, sorry, the line's closed. And she's like, oh, my father would love this. I go, here, you could have my book. But I'm like, the people love you here because you're fan-friendly. And now you see people like Jake Peavy in the news today or yesterday drubbing and snubbing the Sox because he doesn't want to leave San Diego. That really upsets me. What's your opinion on this guy?
Well, some players would rather play on the West Coast. The weather's stabilized. They're comfortable. Maybe he's a National League pitcher. That was a theory that was brought up. He'd rather stay in the National League instead of coming to the American League where they have the DH. So all he does is pitch. He doesn't get a chance to go to the plate or maybe bunt, base run. But there's got to be a theory to it, or maybe his agent thinks that he's not going to get the right contract. So, there's a lot of different situations that these young players, they get into bargaining agreements that, I think their main goal is to make as much money as they can over that short period of time, and then their career's over.
But don't you want to win? Wasn't the whole idea to win? We had Keith Moreland on earlier. He said his idea was he wanted to win, and you're the same way. You wanted to win. These players today, it's all about the money, a lot of them.
I believe it is. I think, sure, the theory is to win. No player likes to lose, but you'd hate to leave your comfort zone and maybe go into the American League. He feels that maybe he doesn't know the hitters as well. There's got to be something to it. And then there's the money aspect, because he's probably going to be a free agent in a year. Is he going to get the right money to negotiate for? And, there's a lot of scenarios that he's probably looking at.
Did you notice a difference? Because you pitched with Texas in the American League and the Cubs in the National League. Was there a difference, or is this just a fallacy?
No. When I joined the Texas Rangers, the umpires still had that inflated chest protector, and they really didn't get down to see the low pitch. And I was a sinker ball slider pitcher down in the strike zone, and a lot of times I wouldn't get that pitch. And I had to prove to the umpires I consistently stay down there. The National League umpires are down on one knee right behind I think the catcher's shoulder. So they've seen a lot of pitches that were down. But it's a new experience. I got a chance to go over there for 8 years and to see how good the hitters were in the American League, from Killebrew and Carew and Mantle, Maris. There were some thumpers over there that you just had to be on top of your game. If you weren't, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah, I see here that you actually played for 7 teams, okay, but it looks like Chicago was probably your most long tenure, correct?
Yeah, I played 10 years with the Cubs, twice with the Cubs, twice with the Texas Rangers, and I just enjoyed going to those cities because of the fact that you'd been there before, you know the surroundings, the city is friendly, and that's what the game's all about, knowing the people that you play in front of, because they make or break a lot of players. If you're not fan-friendly, a lot of times you get on the bad side of fans, you get booed a lot. It's not good for a professional ball player or an athlete to come to the ballpark to try to perform, and the fans are booing them.
Can you think of a player you played with who was really run out of town by that? Was a disappointment? We had the example here in Chicago more recently with LaTroy Hawkins, but how about when you were playing? Did you see guys who really just...
There was the odd play. I know LaTroy, he didn't get along with fans. He had a couple of bad outings, and they boo him. But that's, sometimes that you have to take that and turn it around. You have to make a bad situation into a good situation by going out there and pitching well and winning ball games. I'm not sure if I can recall in my era seeing guys booed, but people disagree. When you don't play well, they pay the money to buy a ticket, so it's their right. If they want to boo, they can boo.
1965, 22 years old, on the mound for the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm just curious, 1965, what was your rookie salary that year?
You don't want to know.
Oh, no, really?
$500.
What?
$6,500.
$6,500. Isn't that amazing?
Salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I make that comparison because people say, well, Robin, you were a rookie in 1977 in the National Football League with the Chicago Bears. What was the minimum salary that year? Well, it was $17,000. Okay. I was pretty fortunate. I was a third-round draft choice. My salary that year was $36,500. I made a couple incentives, and with my bonus and everything, I made close to $80,000, which wasn't too bad. Now,
good money.
Now you compare, like for instance, Lance Briggs, that was the franchise player last year. Would you average it out per minute? And this is what I have to, I have to show the crowd or show the people the kind of the comparison here. Lance Briggs makes $75,000 a minute. $75,000 a minute, whether he's on the field or not, Lou. Okay? In my 5th year with the Bears, I made $61.75 a minute. I mean,
that sounds good to me right now. 61.
Yeah, underpaid, right?
Yeah, wow. And that's just game day. You still got to count Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
The workouts and everything.
All that getting prepared for Sunday.
Yeah. What about Forte, the young running back you've got there in the Bear organization? He's got to be making pretty good money right now.
Well, he was a second choice. I think he was one of the top second-round choice. I couldn't tell you exactly what his signing
whatever they paid him,
but
it was worth it because we had the other bum Cedric Benson here who did nothing. He was a first-round pick. Keith Moore uncovered him because Keith is covering Texas football, and he was disappointed in him. But at least this guy, Forte, came out to play. I mean, this Cedric Benson, forget if you saw this guy, he was a complete bust. Now he's wearing stripes like he should be with the Bengals.
Well, 40 is making more than $6,500. We know that.
Yeah, you know what? As a second-round draft choice, he's got to be probably salaried, probably around $700,000, $800,000. Probably had a signing bonus of, I'm going to say, probably close to $2.5 million. See, when we played, we played basically for the love of the game because we all had off-season jobs in order to pay the mortgage and put kids in diapers, Today's players, as you mentioned, like the PVs and so forth of the world, I mean, they come out and pitch for 5 or 6 years and they make lifetime money.
But they're playing for the love of the game, they say, if you believe that. So wait, Fergie, did you pay Lou to write your book by the word or by the page?
Hey, I had a job in high school where I actually got paid by the word.
How much did you get per word, Lou?
I think at that point it was about 30 cents a word. This was back in 1969, roughly.
So you got to use a lot of those little words.
My hometown weekly. Right. There was no discouragement of length at all.
You don't use the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
No, unless you spelled it broken up in 3 words. Right.
That's pretty good.
Well,
you heard the phrase $10 word?
That's fantastic. Hey, Fergie, thanks for coming.